Hey Leo, it's Caleb's Tarot. How are you guys? How's it crack-a-lacking? Right, I'm going to do your 1st to the 15th of October Love Tarot reads. Love Tarot for Leo, 1st to the 15th of October 2019. Love for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Leo. Right, thought I'd do these live, you guys, and get these out of the way because I know I'm a little bit late and I do apologise. Still, it's always worth doing it because, you know, sometimes, especially with the energies that you go through, sometimes the guidance and advice is definitely worth it on its own. So, right, may not resonate for everyone, I must say that as well. No need to bitch in the comments if it doesn't resonate. If it does resonate, then I do hope that the guidance and the advice helps. So, yeah, that feels about right. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Leo. Don't forget to like the video, you guys. The more likes that the video gets, the more YouTube recommends it to others. So if that's the only thing that you do, I'd really appreciate that. Up first, we've got the Two of Swords with a Death. The World in the reverse and the King of Cups in the reverse. The Six of Wands at the centre of your reading. Good, I like that. The Four of Wands, brilliant. The King of Pentacles in the reverse. And the King of Swords. We've got three kings here. And the Three of Pentacles. Right, okay. So one thing we have to pull note to first and foremost is the fact that we do have these three kings. And kings tend to be masters of the suit. So there's going to be something here that we ought to pull up on, which I will do in a moment. I'm just going to get all your oracles out of the way first. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising. Again, don't forget to like this video, you guys. The more likes it gets, the more YouTube will recommend it for me. Thank you. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Leo. Right, I've got Virtue. You acknowledge your loving spiritual attributes that encourage others to grow. And I've also got Unity. You understand that the love shared with another is amplified and has a ripple effect across the universe. How nice. Do your romance angel oracles. I've got cards everywhere, you guys. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Leo. Right, keep an open mind. Soulmate may differ from usual type and expectations. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments, and it's safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all, Leo. So I'm going to clarify some of these, but I'm just going to read off the bat first of what I think is going on here. So top row really is what your energy is coming into this situation, your recent past. Middle row is where we are in the now, and the bottom row is what's coming towards you as a result. Now, before I do this, we need to talk about these three kings here in a different context. I will read the energy of the cards in line with the spread, but we have to pull fact that there are three kings. So kings are masters of the suit, and when we sort of pull I'd say more than two kings really in a single spread, it speaks of mastering the energy of the suit. So with the King of Swords, it's mastering loyalty, commitment, you know, not so much commitment, I think that's really this sort of the King of Pentacles, but it's sort of mastering loyalty, honesty, truth, communication more above anything. And I suppose communication is key with what some of you are going through here. The King of Pentacles is reversed, and what I will say with this is when they're reversed, it's you've gotten your centre to that point, and we're kind of reverting back a bit here. And obviously for some of you it's going to be for good reason, but we've still sort of yet to really sort of master things such as commitment and priority and things like that, and obviously on an emotional level as well. So some of you need to understand that first before we go into it. Some of you will think, oh, that's just rubbish, didn't need to hear that, but others will need to, okay? So what are you coming into this energy with? It seems like we have some unfinished business here with a specific someone. Someone you may have deemed to be your soulmate at one point or another. And I suppose in a way, to narrow this down, it does say on the card, keep an open mind. So maybe this person was a completely different type to what you were used to. So if that narrows it down for some of you to see if it resonates, there you go. I think we've been a bit blindfolded to a massive change and a massive transformation that someone's going through at the moment, whether that's you or them, but we still have this element of unfinished business in the recent past. So it may not necessarily be on a love front, especially you know, if you're single and there's no one around you or has been around you. This may just be that there's been a massive shift in your life and you've not quite done anything about it because you've not really known what to do. So, you know, maybe you've had a couple of different options as to how to deal with a massive change in your life. It could have been a gain or a loss. The death card never actually seriously means death. Very rarely it does. Usually, like I say, it's just some sort of a shift in your life for better or for worse. And clearly there's some unfinished business attached to this big massive change that you've gone through. So whether it be in terms of love, whether it be entering into a relationship or leaving a relationship, there's something attached here that's unfinished, that we've not fully dealt with. And I feel like it is on an emotional level more than anything. So at the centre of your reading, we've got the Six of Wands. And this is recognition, but it's also paying more attention with the Four of Wands to your stability. Despite, I want to say, being very much emotionally detached here, I don't think you've gotten yourself to a point here where you need to forgive someone. I just don't. I feel like you're learning, definitely. Forgiving someone, no, I don't think you're quite there yet. I think this might be a breakup that I'm looking at with the Death card, you know. I think this is the end of a relationship that's got unfinished business attached. Something's not quite been resolved here, or this could be an indication that you two are going to pick things back up at a later date. But I think this is down to you, Leo. I just don't feel like you were ready. I think you're very much focused and honed in on your own stability here, on your own path. And like I say, you've been learning a lot since the energy of the Death card. I just don't feel like you've gotten yourself to a point where you've forgiven anyone yet, and I feel like that is what the world in the reverse is. Someone might need forgiving here. I always say Spirit does say this kind of stuff, and a lot of people who are watching this, especially if they've been through something awful and like, no, I can't forgive that, I can't forgive that. I always say this: to air your shit is human, to forgive it's truly divine. And I think that it's just a reminder that we are human, that we do make mistakes. Yes, some people make worse mistakes than others, granted. But I do feel like Spirit's trying to say to you, this is very spiritual reading. I feel like Spirit's trying to say to some of you, you know what, until you can actually get yourself to the point where you can forgive and truly release, then I think that this is just going to hang over you for as long as it takes. Probably not something you wanted to hear. So moving forward, where do we go? Well, we're still learning. We're still mastering new skills. We're still correcting things. Well, I feel like there is this emotional detachment because you've not gotten yourself to a point where you can forgive someone's errors, mistakes, words. And I think that the King of Pentacles really is you allowing yourself to be a bit selfish at this point. Now, yes, if you truly are fed up with whoever this Death card is for you, if you're truly fed up, yes, of course you're not sorted. Of course you want to be a bit selfish. Of course you do. But at the same time, I expect it's just sort of really pointing out the obvious that, yeah, until we realise, get a new perception and actually sort of see the truth in the matter, that maybe there are two sides to everything. And I always say there's nothing, when I'm doing these readings, especially when it's personal, I always say there's nothing I can do for anyone that you're connected to that I'm not reading for. All we can do is talk about how you can better this situation. You know what I mean? And that's kind of where we're going with this. I think this is just about, in order to release someone, if you truly want to release them, you truly want them to move on, and you want to move on, whether or not you get back together is regardless. I think you're going to have to sort of consider letting a guard down here and being a bit more diplomatic, because I don't think this person is going to leave your life. So that could be an indication that kids are involved, or that this person, I don't know, for some of you might work with them, for others of you it's kids, for others of you, it's someone who you've been married to, and maybe you're trying to establish a friendship, but you're not quite there yet. Whatever this is. So I think unity really is that sort of compromise over the apology itself. I feel like that's what that is. And the virtue, I mean, you're encouraging someone else to grow, but also this is talking about encouraging you to grow as well through this process. I mean, I'm gonna clarify a few of these, Leo. This is literally, and I hate saying this, but this is literally one of them readings where Spirit's like, yeah, slap on the wrist here. Oh, it's a definite family situation, isn't it? Some of you that I'm reading for here. I know this is general, but sometimes I can pick up on energy, and Spirit will always throw out the most important message that someone or a group of people need to hear at this moment. And this is really, you've got your guard up here. You took a step back. We're in hermit mode, but I like the hermit. The thing is with the hermit, he carries a star in his lantern, and the star in the tarot is all about hope and wishes and goals, and how we can achieve that. And the hermit takes a step back to figure out how we can achieve that. So we've got a guard up really, because we've had to take a step back and really figure out what it is that we want. What you need to realise is emotional fulfillment is there throughout this whole process. So I'm wondering if during this sort of backing off mode that some of you may be in at the moment, while you're in hermit mode, consider forgiving someone. And maybe, this could be more along the lines of a dual apology for some of you, possibly. So, yeah, I mean, I'm really pushed to sort of clarify this bottom row just a little bit further. Now I've got the Tower and the Ace of Cups. It's the peace offering, isn't it? And the Three of Cups, yeah, it's an offering. It's an offer for friendship. It's an offer for friendship. That's what this is. It's working on it. I think there's still love in this situation. And I feel like that's why we have the It's Safe for You to Love card. I feel like there is still love in this thing. There may have been a breakup, but I still think that there's love there, regardless. And I think that if somebody's sort of making an effort to change and transform, whether it be you, them, or both of you, I just feel like there's been circumstances here where shit's gone down on both sides. Yeah. And I think that the Tower, again, we have to let the Tower fall. We have to let the Tower fall. It's like, if you get back together with this person at a later date, there may be regrets over wasted time and etc, but it's not really, because look, the Tower has got to crumble. It's built on a false foundation. You've got to let the Tower fall. You can't keep pinning it up, in the hopes, you can't strap it up, you can't pin it up, you can't. It's got to fall so that you can brush off the rubble and rebuild it on a stronger foundation. So again, this gives an indication that there may have been a couple of lies along the way here as well, that someone should really apologise for. And I think that they do. But I feel like there's apologies on both sides that need to be made. It's like one big massive needless mess where two people just weren't on the same page. One's really sort of working hard to better themselves. I think the other is as well. And improve their life, but there is still this massive sort of shadow hanging over you both. Why? Because of unfinished business. Because it didn't have to go this way. Because there's still more to the story than meets the eye, whether it be through friendship or love. There's more to this than meets the eye. And I think some of you are basically being told, look, you guys are going to need each other moving forward, regardless of what for. So again, on the virtue card, it's time to grow and encourage everybody else around you to grow while we're at it. You know what I mean? Yeah, acknowledge your loving spiritual attributes that encourage others to grow. That's exactly what this is about, Leah. That's exactly what this is about. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there. If anyone does want a personal reading, I shouldn't imagine you would need one, because I think this is pretty self-explanatory at this time, but If you do want a personal reading, feel free to email me and I will book you in. But yeah, I think I'm happy to leave this here for now, Leo. It's sort of a message to sort of say, you're being told now to forgive someone and to, you know, accept that there's unfinished business here. If you're being told this now, it's for a reason, i.e., this situation is going to continue changing over probably the coming weeks, months, if not weeks. So you obviously need to heed that warning there. Anyway, I'll leave that there, Leo. Like I say, if it's personal, email me. Otherwise, guys, I wish you all the best and I will see you guys soon. Take care. Bye for now.